I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
We are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Mushoku Tensei, Season 1, Episode 7. Last episode, pretty good one. It did happen to have the moment that has made me most uncomfortable so far in the show.
Yes.
But other than that, we learned a pretty decent amount of information about places and people that we might never see or go to, including the ever-armored Dragon Knight Perugius, Laplace, the demon god, the entire, I guess,
Squad,
the Fangs of Black Wolf. We haven't met each person, but other than our parents, Rudy's parents, we have learned that there are, other people in a group that Jelaine knows, and maybe one day we will too. I hope. Maybe we'll see them.
I hope we meet them.
Yeah. We're just hanging out in Roa, and I don't really know what to expect next episode. Is it going to be more of what we got last episode? Some more studies, journey of
shopping.
Rudy being the best teacher possible? Who knows?
He's really learning a lot on how to be a good teacher.
And maybe a good person.
And maybe a good...
I don't know. I want to know more about the Grey Rat lineage, if there's anything there. I like the world that they're building here.
They can't know about his existence because of, political reasons.
Yeah.
Oof.
And we saw a flying fortress, and
you want to go there?
Any time that I ever see a flying fortress, I want to go there. So I'm excited.
I hope we go there.
Ready?
Yeah.
Sweet. Winter.
I love snow.
I love swords. I love Jelaine's winter apparel. Oh! Whew, this animation.
I'm surprised you could react at all in summer clothes in the winter.
Aw. Wow! No chasing around the yard?
Yes! Look at them. Look at those fireballs. It's because of your dad, 100%.
It's 100% because of his dad. It has to be. Once a gray rat, always a gray rat.
Oh, you're Paul's son? You're Paul's son.
Paul.
Paul. Well, he did make it himself, so that makes sense.
Huh. A magical dance?
Oh, he's gonna be dancing with her? Maybe?
Wow. What's behind that smile? What do you have cooking up?
Uh-huh.
Oh, he just wants to read. Philip. Cool.
Ooh.
Different language.
That's in Beast God. Admirable.
I bet they are well versed in Beast God. I wonder if Jelaine can teach him, since she might have some more free time too. Languages.
They do say that, right? That it's easier to learn languages when you're younger. Spoken too soon.
Huh.
Tired of her dance lessons.
She has to think of it like fighting, you know? Edna.
the scene of the crime.
うまく踊れないのですが、うまくできないことをなんでやらないといけないのよ。気持ちはわかる。俺も前世じゃそうやって逃げてた。でも俺は知っている。いつか後悔するんだ。あの時頑張ってればって。うまくできないことほど一生懸命頑張ってできるようになった時の達成感もすごいから。
I like that.
僕も手伝いますから。ダンスの練習もう一度してみませんか?
I think that might have been a yes punch.
何してるの?
Yeah, you said you'd help.
早くついてきなさい。早すぎます。もう少しリズム取って。ルーデウスが遅すぎるのよ。
Practicing?
No. Not well. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Roxy really is the inspiration for all of this growth.
Is he selling them? Trading them?
Is he gonna That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like a gold piece too.
The guy probably bought it because of the underwear.
Right after he gets it, he's like, I wonder. There's his face there. Roxy? Or home?
It's a person.
ロキシーからだ。やっと帰ってきた。ロキシーの香り。お手紙拝見しました。
Alright.
もう8歳になられますか。まさかフィットアリを領主ご息女の家庭教師とは驚きで開いた口が塞がりません。それに剣王ギレーヌとも知り合いになるなんて。そういう人になってしまいましたね。文法も独特で難しいと思います。なので不詳ながら一冊教科書のような。
You made a textbook.
Oh, she's
Whoa!
the best.
I wrote it by hand?
She's the best.
大切にしてもらえると嬉しいです。本屋とかに並んでたら泣くかもしれません。
Oh, this is gonna mean the world to him.
先日王子が私にそっくりの彫像を買ってきました。ローブが着
What?
で体型からほくろの位置まで同じでした。もしかすると近日中に呪い殺されるかもしれません。不安です。大丈夫そうならまた手紙を出します。
Yeah, I don't think he ever imagined.
Oh my god.
Like-minded. Even pictures.
She's given up.
ギリギリ明日は乗り越えられそうですね。ルーデウス様との練習の成果が出せればきっと大丈夫です。
明日のパートナーは僕じゃないですけど大丈夫ですか？
とにかく今日やったことを思い出して頑張りましょう。わかったわ。
心配だ。
We're not going to be honest while Eris is in the room. I hope she has a cute dress.
Oh, look at his hair! Amazing.
Look at her. You can do this.
Come on, Rudy. Yeah.
Oh no. He was supposed to keep a low profile.
Deep breath.
エリス、目をつぶってください。うまく踊れるようになる魔法を使います。それに合わせて攻撃を避けるつもりでステップを踏んでください。ちょっとルーデウ
Keeping her on beat, too. Look at her face. No!
Don't close your eyes!
Maybe?
Are we good? We're in the clear?
Cool. I like the little sound design there. Jelaine knows it's great.
Oh, thank God. Whew, I was worried for a second.
Yeah! Oh no! Where were you supposed to say that? So cool.
He really is in the Grey Rat family.
Thank you, Eris. This is like a really weird, Misty Ash kind of, like, friendship. Oh, cool! Interesting that we focused on Sylphie there. Oh, oh my god.
She had Sylphie in her hand, didn't she? Wonder if that means anything.
Jealous? No way, right?
No, I mean, she pulled him away from those girls.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
There's a favorite present. It's just like when Rudy got presents from his parents. You're Paul! That was probably for the best.
Wow! 末前食わぬはなんとやらいたずらしちゃうぞ。魔除けの指輪効果あるじゃん。こんな時間からお盛んだこと。見てみろルーデウス。いつもと調子が違う。賢者モードだろうか。しかし悪いものではない。
Is it a planet?
なぜそう思われるのでしょう。そう考えた方が良いからだ。なるほど。俺も祈っておこう。
I don't know what it is.
Interesting. Okay, that was season 1, episode 7 of Mushoku Tensei. That was great. That was so, like, feel good and wholesome. Mm-hmm. And I am, like, it's hard not to talk about the thing that's, like, on the front of my mind the first, which is just Rudy not doing anything with Eris after being reminded from the ring and choosing to seemingly take a different path than Paul. Like, Kid Paul and Rudy perhaps may have been in the same spot on the same trail. And where Paul veered to the right, Rudy just went to the left knowingly. And that is really cool. I'm really happy to see that.
We've talked about how with this character and the special elements of this character, there is a awareness that does not exist really at all for other characters that we've seen, that there is this awareness of acknowledgement that you aren't necessarily doing a good thing or you aren't necessarily the best person ever. Mm-hmm. And you're aware of that and you're not like saying, oh, but that's totally okay, I'm not a good person. You're just focusing on the thing and you're like, that thing I do is not a good thing.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing. And it's not like promoting it, you're just saying it's not a good thing. And here when he says, what was the line? He was like, because of the ring, it kept him away. And
yeah.
That's why, and the ring was to keep evil wolves away.
It does work, yeah.
And it's like he said that it does work.
Yeah.
And to have him say that he's basically admitting to the fact that he has this like evil wolf part of him.
Yeah, it's really refreshing because like you get worried sometimes that like we're 7 episodes in and I have seen like you know, like a bit of growth here and there, and then after last episode I still believe that that's the route that we're going, but you like internally take a little bit of a pause and you're like, well, what am I going to think about this character if he doesn't, you know, make that journey to a better person or to a better person than he used to be, right? And trying to just appreciate the story for what it is if that's the route that it takes. But it seems so interesting at when they choose to do moments to show us like where he's at morally or mentally in that situation. It's almost like I wish that I could see the writer's scale, like, you know, like a in court system, like the old time scale, and you weigh each crime punishment kind of thing. I would love to like try to see the writer's mind of like weighing oh, he just did this last episode, we're going to put this episode on the scale too, and let's see how it like weighs out, you know, into like positive character growth. It's really interesting.
I would say after last episode, I was pretty like, oh, okay, was that a backtrack or something? Going back in, I had expectations for him and his growth that I think weren't the point of what the story is. I think I was like, okay, now from here on out, we are changing and we are growing. But I have to remind myself that this not only is supposed to be a reflection of a person and how a child learns and grows, but also someone who's coming with having already developed their sense of self from a previous life.
Yeah.
This is unlearning behaviors. This is choosing to go against your habitual. He has been habitually like this in his past life. So anything that goes against his norm is going to feel weird, funky. He might feel safer in the spaces that are less morally positive. And he probably feels safer there and more comfortable and less like he's leaving his house for the first time. You know? And I think that seeing this episode with the learning how to read and then learning how to dance, it's like a in-your-face reminder that learning things and unlearning things is a give and take process. It does not happen overnight, and it does not happen without setbacks and fallbacks.
Yeah.
And then you pick up again and you try again. And that's how it works. And he wasn't some kid without this consciousness. So it's not like he was born without having a true grasp of like, you know, morality.
He wasn't a clean slate.
He wasn't a clean slate that was learning morals through watching. Obviously, I mean, he would have been learning from Paul, which probably would might have turned out similar. I don't know.
Like, obviously, I think that like after seeing what they're trying to do with Rudy and doing with Rudy, like they're very deliberate with all the characters, right? And where they shine in their good moments and bad, and personality. But like what you were just saying, I think that like going forward and trying to be better, but like failing, picking yourself back up, like Rudy trying to learn the demon god language and him having a lot of trouble with it, kind of feeling like dejected. And then Roxy sends him the, you know, study guide basically, that she wrote herself, and you saw Rudy's attitude towards it. I think that he had a line this episode to, internally that he said that if only I tried harder. And I think that that's really interesting because one, if he's saying that, then that is regret, right? That's my life could have been something better than it was. And if you are acknowledging that your life could have been something better, you're acknowledging the fact that your life wasn't necessarily as good as you would like it to be in hindsight, right? And I might go as far as to say that it is much easier to be a bad person than it is to be a good person who has bad thoughts. And I think Rudy was a bad person, and he is living with that knowledge and having to fight against it to be a good person. And it's really cool to see develop on screen.
I honestly could, I think that I could equate him taking this possible path that we see him taking of be a good person a lot of the time, and although he still has those thoughts, a lot of the time he does choose to do something really sweet and really nice, and it makes me think of how when you have a connection with someone and you actually put yourself out there and your heart out there, like, you, for the most part, for a lot of things, if someone loves you and you have a connection, you put yourself out there to be friends with them, to love them, to be family with them, a lot of your actions and or your shortcomings will be forgivable, and the person will probably still support you, especially if you continue to show that you are trying your best.
Yeah.
And he is now living a life where he has let himself create connections. And I think that was the starting step, him choosing to create a connection with Roxy and then with Sylphie and with his parents is like a starting step to wanting to be a better person, but also realizing that, like, people, if they know you, they're not scary.
Well, you know what it is?
And they'll forgive you.
He's learning respect for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, by connecting with people, he is seeing these people, when he's being reminded again how he could easily see them as just stereotypes from a video game he has knowledge of. By talking to these people and learning about them, he's developing empathy and perspective and and respect for these people. And it's hard for me not to like draw connections to like Rudy potentially being an addict, right? Like in my personal family, I've had people who were addicted to things like drugs and porn addictions and sex addictions and, you know, like alcoholism. Those are all real things. And if you do those things that are bad and fall down and go, like, you know, have to go to jail or whatever, on the train of rehabilitation, it's not just, okay, I'm good now, got it out of my system, dude, and then going forward and living a perfect life where you never go back into those tendencies beforehand. I wish it was that easy. I wish that the people I know who struggle with things were able to just get it over and overcome it the first time they went through it. But so, like, going forward, I don't expect Rudy to be a perfect angel he's never going to do anything wrong again. But from just acknowledging the show as a story, I think it's really interesting, like, that they're doing a good job of it, of fighting with that internal struggle. I
really like that you said the phrase, he's developing empathy. I think he probably had somewhat of like a victim complex from probably coming into this world, a very focused on himself outlook. And I think through creating these connections and developing empathy, he's realizing that other people need helping hands and struggle and need to be told that they are loved and accepted, and they need praise, and they need people to like them. Like, other people are also scared of ridicule. I mean, he was bullied in his past life, and here we have this possibility in this episode of Eris. She's being talked about. People are like, oh, this family's doomed. Like, she's stupid. And he's hearing this person that he has now probably grown a respect and admiration and a friendship with being belittled and talked down about. And he is like, I don't want her to feel that way. Like, he knows how that feels. And that means he's directly putting on something that he knows, and he's seeing, oh my God, I don't want this person that I care about to feel a way that I identify and know of, because I know how painful that is. And that is really awesome to see. Do you think it was a charm? That was a very sweet line. I really liked that whole, like, it's not magic, it's a charm. It was just very sweet. He's honestly very smart in how he thinks of things. Like, obviously sometimes it's like, oh, he's smart, like he's cheating the system, like he's saying something that he knows will garner a certain reaction, and it feels a little manipulative. Here, it's like we're also seeing his manipulation be like, you know how people say like little white lies aren't always that bad?
Yeah.
You know, that's sort of the thing, is he's kind of on this line of manipulation where sometimes the things that he's doing that are manipulative have good intentions that are more pure, and then
it comes from intent, right? And every time that there's malicious intent, we are hearing the inner monologue. And when there isn't malicious intent with how he is using his knowledge for the betterment of people, a lot of time he just does it. And like we're seeing the action, and like that, like as a formula, works wonders. Because I'm like, I don't expect it, and I'm like, oh my god, that was like he did something good. And I like, part of me hates that I have a reaction to being like, oh my god, you did something good, but because it's like, oh, how could you be proud of somebody for doing the bare minimum, right? For not doing something awful to somebody else. And I feel that, and I recognize that, but like I had just said before, I know people who are in really tough situations and have fallen many times. And every time that they do something that is not falling and taking a step in a good direction,
it's a victory.
I personally meet it with praise, because I think it's a victory. And
if they don't feel validated in this change and that they should continue to change, I mean, honestly, people change because they want to. And if they're seeing a person in the mirror that they're like, I do want to be that person, and they're hearing from the people around them that they care about, like, wow, I'm proud of you, I like this person that you are right now, and you like the person you are, then that's just gonna push you forward into actually achieving and motivating yourself to continue to be the person that you dream of being.
Yeah.
And people could do it by themselves, and obviously it takes the person to decide, but having that support of people being like proud of you, even for the smallest little victories, I think that would totally
positive attention versus negative, right? But like if and when Rudy fucks up again, I'm gonna sit here through it and be a little uncomfortable and be like, okay, come on, dude. And like it's not fun to watch, of course, but that's part of the story that they're trying to tell.
And I feel bad because before I got into last episode, I did have these expectations for him that were growing, and like they were growing really quickly, that I was like, okay, that was it. Now we're not gonna have any morally gray.
It seems like that was the point, though. Like it seems like they wrote it to try to get you to feel that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, why was I expecting this person to just completely change 40 plus years of lived experience in a couple years of new life? Like, why?
Yeah.
Old habits die hard.
I love the route that they took with the figurines this episode. Okay, so like first off, I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like not what the fuck because he's a little kid looking at what's under the clothes of his figure. Like that's fine. But the situation that he's in and the fact that he's the one who made it and then looked. So at first I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. And then later, this is my headcanon, once he sold it, I'm like, oh, he was doing quality insurance, like assurance.
Yeah,
like he was just making sure everything was in check, you know?
Yep, there's that mole that I secretly saw.
Master of his craft, right? No, but it was a fun episode. It was lighthearted. There was some good animation in the beginning and the fight especially. I think that one of my top 3 favorite characters in the show so far is Jelaine. Like, there's something that makes me so happy when I see her happy or like have like any emotion. There's a really
I think she's fun because there's also some type of child spirit, an innocent spirit with her as well, that she just I love her, and I love that she's learning too, and that she's excited about learning, and she is also, I think, really amazing with Eris. Like, she knows for a fact how much Eris looks up to her and
Yeah.
how much Eris admires her. And it's interesting because she doesn't necessarily manipulate Eris in the way that Rudy would in terms of like learning.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to, because what does she has? She has Eris's respect.
Yeah.
And respect, that's a big, I think, theme in the show. Learning respect. Roxy, I believe, when she's leaving in like episode 2, he says that he respects her.
I really liked Rudy giving the wands
Yes.
to them. I was like,
I liked what happened right after that. I thought that was funny.
yeah.
The callback to Rudy's birthday presents and being like, oh, thanks, Dad, for this sword. And then Mom gives him a book and he's like, yeah, this is just what I wanted.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened
Giving
with the
him
ring.
a taste of his own medicine. What do you think the thing in the sky is?
I don't know. What he said something like, I don't know what it is, but that's not a bad thing, or it might be a good thing, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, this is an ominous thing in the sky to just have appeared, and you somehow have this. You're sure of yourself that this is not a bad thing.
Well,
like,
Soros is mellowed out after he has sex, you know?
So he's like, I am not intimidated by that thing in my airspace.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, though. The way that they have it drawn, like...
It looks evil.
Well, I can't tell where it is. I can't tell if it's closer or if it's like supposed to be like a planet or something far out, because my like intuition's that it's closer. And then it also makes me feel like it like is like a, I don't know, like a dark matter or like a black hole and has like a gravitational pull or something.
There's no way that floating palace landmass
fortress
is inside that, right?
I don't think so.
Because it's odd to me to have two things in the sky now, and I'm like, what if it's actually enveloped by that darkness?
Or it's in its orbit. It's in its orbit, or it's at the center of the flying fortress to make sure it can like fly.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I love that like it seems like this is where we're going, right? I don't even know, actually. I'm not confident at all saying that, because we got the Flying Fortress. I don't even know if we're going to go there. It's just another cool little thing that I want to know more about.
Like, is Rudy going to travel somewhere and actually get to use the beast god language? Or is this just was this just a whole episode of like, look, I'm learning things even though I'm a tutor, and Eris is learning things too in this episode, and we're all learning?
Yeah, well... I would, if I had my way, there would be like 8 seasons of the show before it actually starts, and each season is just Rudy growing up and meeting people who are going to be in his party, and then we get the adventures of the party. Like, that would be amazing. So good.
8 seasons.
It was nice to see Roxy again. Like, in person, not in figure. You know?
I feel bad for her.
Mm-hmm.
Because of this prince. She definitely thinks of Rudy fondly, even though there's similarities between the two.
Yeah.
And I think that might have been helped by the fact that Rudy was a much smaller child upon those actions.
Yeah, but also not that she knows. This kid doesn't have a, whatever-year-old man living inside of his head. Yeah. But I don't know.
We did wonder, maybe there's also 40-something-year-old inside that prince, too.
I don't know.
He's not as good at magic, and that's why she doesn't respect him.
Yeah, facts. All right, that's all I have for you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.